We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about crypto adoption in the market. Mastercard partnering up with Moonpay. We're going to talk about it. Also, not Binance, Coinbase getting hacked. A small hack there with maybe big consequences. We're going to talk about gold. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. What's the next step? When is the next pump? When are we going up? Where is the altcoin season, right? So all of that right in the stream, and then also some Ecomi and Veve news about the business update. Make sure to stay tuned. So good morning, each and every one of you. I hope you have your coffees locked and loaded, also ready to go, because we have a lot to talk about and the chat is exploding. I can only reduce that or bring that back to the fact that it's this Friday, that it is the Freak Friday. So let's check out Mewtwo here in the chat. Good morning to you. GM Hodler Fam, also Green Lantern GM Fam in the car with the coffee at rocket speed. That's what I'm deducting from the icons here. Pro Legendary, good to see you. Dang, the whole crew is here. What's up? Absolutely legendary Freaky Friday. I fully agree. Joss93 says, I'm being hearing Mastercard joins crypto for the last 5 years. Then you will be very pleased to see the absolute evidence that this is happening today, and the waiting time of 5 years is over. Patrick, also good morning to you. Philippe, good morning. The sound is weird. Okay. That is okay. Let me check one thing here quickly. The sound is weird. Why is the sound weird? Why is it weird? Is it too low? Is it double? What is happening? What can we do about it? Hollow. Okay, and let me check one thing. Yeah, but the camera mic is turned off. Why is the sound hollow? I don't know if I can do anything about that just right now. Let's check the sound settings here at the side, which is not planned. Everything is like 2 days ago. So where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Good question. Next question. I have no idea. I hope it's bearable, because otherwise I don't know what to do, to be honest. I will have to check and listen then first to my own sound. I hope it's okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, though. I mean, that's very important. And let's get into the crypto action here a little bit. So everyone, and we see this really in subscribers and numbers and so on, the moment that you pump everyone is like excited and back. And then the moment that you are plateauing and go sideways at resistance, everyone is like getting bored again and doesn't want to deal with it, right? And we are literally sitting just under the all-time high and people don't care. It's like as if we are at 100K since years and people they just want to see God candles now, right? Because these phases, they've been so exhausting, right? But I think this is necessary. These phases of sideways consolidation is necessary as big selling is happening at these landmark numbers of around 100K, and then new buyers are coming in as institutions are adopting. Let's just not forget together the bigger picture here, as I'm moving this into the monthly chart, zooming out here a little bit so that it fits. Let's just not forget the bigger picture of this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern that broke out and is now basically at the verge of continuing this rally, right? And the bull cross, obviously, that we highlighted. Let's just not forget that. And the news, they are helping, right? We have Mastercard directly. This is directly from the Mastercard channel. You see it here behind the chat. Stablecoins meet 150 million plus checkout counters. Enterprises and fintechs can now offer Mastercard branded cards linked to consumer stablecoin balances, unlocking new ways to pay and be paid. In partnership with Moonpay, we are combining our trusted global payments network with advanced stablecoin infrastructure to bring seamless, secure digital asset payments to life. And this is basically, it's a big deal. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a big deal. First of all, Mastercard is a brand that many people trust in, right? It's more than if there's only a Revolut on your card or something like that. Like, Mastercard and Visa, that's something we generally trust. The second big thing here is that you are basically going from your wallet with a card to payment, and then hopefully at one point also reverse, right? But there's technically no bank, right? There is no bank involved. You could just pay out of your wherever that crypto wallet is through that card, and then buy and sell crypto on the exchange and fill up your wallet again. So that's probably what is going to be the way of adoption. We already know that there's also now Ledger has built a sub wallet where you can move your crypto to and then pay directly with card from the Ledger, right? So I think it's a big deal, and we will see along the next years how big this is. This is the official Mastercard channel. Here's official press release also on the Mastercard page. So this is not such a small thing, right? And we also have that directly published via CNBC. And for that, I'm going to move the chat in the middle here a little bit. Let's listen to this quickly.
To you, just because some folks may not understand what this all means, break down the technology here. So Mastercard, well, I won't even do it. You do it, Ivan.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me again. It's great to be back on the show. From our perspective, we think stablecoins are a really big deal. It's actually quite personal for me. I'm half Venezuelan, and there are people all around the world that receive money from the United States. This is a new technology layer. Stablecoins are dollars on a blockchain. Anyone with an internet connection, anyone with a phone can receive money in the form of the US dollar at the speed of light, the speed of the internet. And, from our perspective, we want to see this embedded everywhere. The next logical step for us was, okay, there's 120 million unique wallet addresses that have stablecoins, 30 million active users. How do we make that possible for them to spend those stablecoins? Logical next step was with Mastercard. They've been a phenomenal partner. We've been working with them over the past couple of years. Shout out to Michael and Sherry, the president over at Mastercard, to bring this to life. but we want to make this more accessible. Moonpay has been about building the backwards compatibility of the existing financial system, so this made a lot of sense.
I want you to sort of project out what the financial future looks like, because I sometimes don't think that the audience and all of us totally understand where this all goes, because it feels to me once you get to a point where a MasterCard or the Visa network and everybody is in stablecoin land, actually sort of finance actually fundamentally changes.
For sure. I think cryptocurrency wallets are going to be embedded everywhere. It's ultimately a new internet native technology. If you think about the legacy system, we had all these financial systems in different parts of the world that didn't communicate with each other in a shared language. Blockchains are that shared language. Stablecoins sit on top of them. And so we think it's going to be a natural next step that every single financial institution recognizes its importance. And so that was part of the reason last time I came on the show, we acquired Iron, which was a developer platform to bring APIs, bring really simple to easy to use infrastructure for any business to embed stablecoins.
Okay, let's leave it here because I think that was the most important part of that interview. But so as he says that crypto solutions, crypto tech is going to be everywhere, underlying, working in the back end, and this is why probably also the projects are the most interesting that are working in the back end, where the front end user is using a stable coin, for example, and then a card, and in the back, whatever crypto project is working in the back is executing that basically on its own, right? So we are coming into and it's very young. I mean, Bitcoin is like what, 15 years old, 15 and a half. So altcoins are 10 years old, the oldest projects or so, roughly. NFT tech, let's not even talk about that. This is only like, what is it, 5 years old, that really people are somehow in the notion of what NFT is. So it's all coming, and these are the steps to get regular users into that and expand this environment of crypto. So let's see the chat here. I have a question for you today. What do you think about the announcement from Randy that his channel has a valuation of 250K? First, I don't believe it at all, and secondly, Randy's streams don't has the same quality and preparation time for a video like you put in your channel. So I don't think I don't like this assertion at all. Thank you for the for that one. Actually, I saw a post in between, but I didn't pay too much attention on that. I think it's an attention grab, to be honest. I don't know, is it here on his channel? Because on that post, it said something about how isn't that this? It's actually it's actually from Mr. MC1 saying, breaking news, congratulations, Randy Sharp's YouTube 250,000 valuation. YouTube channels valued at 2-3x annual revenue. So that basically means that he has an annual revenue of $215,000. Okay. I don't know how, maybe sponsorships that he has with I don't know what, right? I don't watch it before, or I don't watch it enough to get into that. But what do we say here? 10% owner a year in this lovely deal, 10% for 10K. So I can tell you, I think Randy has about just under 10,000 subs, right? This channel, my channel, has a little more than half, or roughly half of that, right? I can tell you that the live streams and the videos and the shorts all together bring about 120 euros average. And also the counting with you all as subscribers, right? Very transparent here, yeah? So you have like 100 to 120, and if there are donations, then maybe it goes to 150 per month. Okay, so that would put me at about 1,800 euros a year, right? No sane person that doesn't love this would work for that money. Because if you break that down on an hourly wage, it's in the €1 rate or even less for per month, right? Per work hour that I put in this. If you consider everything together, from building thumbnails and looking up content and reading up about it and making the SEO and whatever, if you count all these hours together and you allocate the 120 that you get from that, or €100, then you, but let's just roughly say it's $2,000, right? Which would be already a little bit or euros, which would be a little bit over the top here, because it's a little bit above than the average. That would put me in this calculation with my channel at a $6,000 valuation on 2 to 3x, right? And so his channel, with roughly double of the subscribers and maybe more generally paying subs or whatever, like like I have the rare hodlers, right, would be 12 to 15,000 then in valuation, right? And yeah, and there is a problem with this post, right? There is a problem with this post, because if that is how people like Mr. MC1 and Randy and others are calculating market potential for Ecomi, then we have a problem, right? So yeah, it's an interesting point. I mean, maybe Randy has like huge partnerships with Davy the cat, which are named here, right, with Shiro and whatever they have, which I don't, right? I only have a partnership with you. You guys, maybe, but that means that these partners are paying then the missing $90,000 or $95,000 that are missing here, right? So just that you guys get also an idea on what people actually make with YouTube channels, because this way it seems that he's making a shitload of money with his YouTube channel, which could be, but not through advertisement and the monthly membership, unless the monthly membership is like $100 per month and he has thousands of members, right? Something like that. Anyways, that just as a quick side journey into channel valuations. This Mr. MC1 post looks like they are pumping up Randy's channel like a meme coin, but what do I know? Maybe he has some big sponsorships. Yeah, we can't know. And also, guys, don't understand this the wrong way. This is not a hate against Mr. MC1 or against Randy. It's just that some people are confused, and obviously people come back then to other content creators and say, wow, so that means you, Patient Hodler, can sell your channel for 125k because you have half the subs. Doesn't work that way. And I think this is, I don't know, maybe exaggerated, maybe they're trying to boost Randy here so that he gets more attention. I mean, this post has 84,000 views, so it clearly worked, and everyone's talking about them. So can you? I'm having conversations with a few other sponsors to sponsor the channel. Maybe whoever, right? Maybe others, who knows? All roads lead to Veve. So, of course, if other people are giving him like a couple of sponsorships because of that post, right? Then it also worked. Yeah, what he's intending here. So. He's also taking Gary Vee and so on, right? And he's also doing all these podcasts with people. So I don't know if some people maybe spend a couple of $100 on being on a podcast to get exposure. I have no idea, right? But that's all stuff that I don't do. Anyways, moving on from this wonderful topic, also we had the scare of a Coinbase data breach, a Coinbase hack, And maybe we just let quickly Ben Armstrong himself address this, and yeah, listen to this.
Hey everyone, I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. Now, we like to do things transparently here at Coinbase, and so I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying no. We are not going to pay your ransom. In fact, I have a few next steps in mind that I'm going to share at the end of this video. But for the rest of you watching, wondering what happened, we did an investigation here, and these attackers have been approaching our overseas customer support agents, looking for a weak link, someone who would accept a bribe in exchange for sharing some customer information with them. Now, our support tools have limited access to customer information. There was no passwords or private keys or funds accessed as part of this. But customer support agents do have access to personal information like name, date of birth, address, etc. And attackers still want access to this information because it allows them to conduct social engineering attacks where they can call our customers, impersonating Coinbase customer support, and try to trick them into...
I think that's already enough here. But so most importantly, the hack is not really a hack if you approach customer support guys and ask them or bribe them to release information to then try to scam these individuals, right? So less than 1% of Coinbase's users are affected. So it's not the dimension that it was initially thought. And the other side is this now will raise a huge discussion, or maybe not huge, but it will raise a discussion about KYC. Because one part is, if you have KYC, you have to have, because government regulation and so on, right? But still, the way KYC is done, if support, like regular support stuff, has access to this, then that's already a problem. And then secondly, there will be still this movement in crypto where people try to offer platforms, crypto companies and so whatsoever offer platforms where you don't need KYC, right? So and that will be a discussion, and there will be more of these hacks, right? So what can the attackers do with that? So if you have a Coinbase account, as he said, the keys are safe, the wallets are safe, but what could happen is, if you are one of the individuals whose data has been leaked, you could get very sophisticated scam and phishing attacks through your email, because of your email or your phone number, right? So what sometimes happens is, and I also got that, is you get a message on your phone and it says someone tried to log in from China to your Coinbase account, right? And click this link to verify, and don't click these links, because the only way you can know for sure that this is official is if you yourself have already gotten official verification messages from Coinbase or so on your phone, and you see that these are in the same thread in your short messaging system, right? But you can see that, for example, I got that from OKX, a fake one, and both are named OKX, but I see that all my other OKX messages are not there. They are in another OKX thread, so I know already it's scam, right? So these are a couple of things that I just wanted to make you aware of, so that you don't get scammed. Probably you know all of that, but still, right? So there are very, and then when you click this link, you could get all sorts of shitty viruses and I don't know, and Trojan horses on your phone or on your computer, wherever you're clicking, right? And these are, I heard about one case where someone clicked the link and it got whatever plugin system on the computer, where when you paste your wallet address for a transfer, it changes the wallet address just before you're clicking, right, to a wallet address of wherever the scammer is. So you're sending your crypto the wrong way, which is why you always have to repeat test transaction before you're sending an actual amount, right? So that if something goes wrong, the $1 test transaction goes to the scammer, right? Hey, Felipe, thanks for your opinion on that. You can add the money to your 125K from your channel. At least your channel should be worth that much. Man, thank you very much. €6 times 3, that already increased my channel valuation by €18. Where are the sponsorship approaches? Just kidding. But yeah, thank you so much for that. And I really appreciate your support over the years, I have to say. Would be really awesome to see you and all of the others again on an event. Unfortunately, Lisbon will not roll for me this year due to reasons, but there will be another, I'm sure, another Veve event or something like that where we will all meet up. We will get it done. But this year is a little bit crazy, you know, wedding and stuff like that. So many things are happening. But you guys are informed in the group. If you're not a rare hodler yet, then sign up as rare hodler to increase the channel valuation beyond 250,000. But also, I would never sell 10% of my channel to someone, because that would make me a slave. I basically would have to repay that money or something like that, because I could not do what I want, right? So we are having that. The only thing that I would do in terms of partnership is if the partnership is in such a way that, for example, Veve, right? We do a drop stream and Veve offers me to give away a collectible to you guys. That would be a partnership that I would do, right? So that we can do a giveaway. The giveaway attracts more people, but in the end, you guys have the chance to get something, right? So if any sponsor and partnership potential guy listens to this right now, then I'm telling you, if you don't offer coins to give away to the community, you're not getting in here. Coins or NFTs. GM hit the like, thanks Bodo, and yeah, thank you Felipe. Really nice. So we have a lot of companies already holding Bitcoin. Yeah, it's really crazy. Oh wow, Felipe, you had your wedding last year. It was very expensive. So I know what you mean. Yeah, one thing is expensive, and the other one thing is also time constraints, right? Because at some point, you have to work for that as well. But congratulations, it's really cool. I met you too, so I know who it is, and yeah, really great to hear that, and I hope it was a really nice ceremony, right? Happy to hear that. We have, let's look at the Bitcoin highlights here. We have actually quite some companies holding Bitcoin, right? Most of them are in the US. So we see here Marathon, 21, Riot, Galaxy. Is that the Riot platform that is also publishing games? No, or is that the miner? I think that's the miner, right? Riot. I think Marathon is a miner. 21. 21 is Jack Mellor's company. Riot is a miner. Galaxy Digital, I'm not sure. CleanSpark Tesla is still a holder, right? At Coinbase only has 9,267 Bitcoin. That's crazy. And then already MetaPlanet is moving up. They're just DCing smaller bits and pieces, but they're moving up the ranks. Next Technology, I don't even know what that is. Samler Scientific, I heard about that. There are companies in here super weird, like with concrete and everything. Bitcoin Group SE in Germany, Booyah, Kangoo, Exodus, Bitfu, Nexon, Fold, Canon, BitDeer, Bitfarms, Brooker Group. So there's a lot of groups, and then you're sub 1,000 Bitcoin until you're getting to some companies in the end where they just have to 15 to 20 Bitcoin, which is where some individual holders have way more Bitcoin than these companies, but they could be getting there, right? So this is just the beginning. And if you see, none of the larger companies except Tesla and Coinbase and so on are here, right? So there is still a lot to fill up, right? We have thousands of companies that will make this move eventually. The only question is at which price. Together they are holding 791,000 Bitcoin, all of these companies, of which 568,000, almost 569,000 are in the hands of Strategy, and then already some miners. So most of the companies are not exposed in a big way. This is something you really have to see here. This list looks long, but it's actually not. If you only take the first 500, Coinbase just made it in the top 500 US companies, right? So you only have like 10 here or so of those, or across the entire list maybe more, but I wouldn't even consider, or I wouldn't even look at companies that don't have like a couple of hundred Bitcoin, because that's just so low levels of money. Yeah, it's very interesting to look at these numbers and really try to see. For example, if you look at at the top holders, right? There could be Nvidia, there could be Microsoft, there could be Facebook, there could be what is it, like all these all automobile companies. There are no airlines, there are no bigger banks, nothing, right? The only thing that I wonder on this list is why BlackRock is not in the list. Maybe that's, yeah, that looks weird to me, because BlackRock has Bitcoin in the fund, but maybe the ETF doesn't count because they are not the holder. They are not putting it on the balance sheet as their own holding. Maybe these are only official press release balance sheet holdings, which would then say, okay, Coinbase has that on their balance sheet, and then they have a pool where they supply the market with. I don't know exactly if they differentiate in that way. Anyways, so looking at the other side, and this is very interesting also, right? So the world's largest gold deposit has been discovered, worth a whopping $1 billion, no, pounds, sorry, or whatever that is. This gold field could contain the world's largest gold reserve, and that means, and this is something that is, I also talked this through with a friend of mine. If you're looking at gold just added from beginning of last year, when the breakout happened, until now, gold added $5 trillion to its market cap, despite the mining output of gold being higher than Bitcoins, okay? 5 trillion adding to Bitcoin would literally 3x the price from here, just like that, right? So this is only that money that came in here, which pushed gold about, until from very breakout to the top, a whopping 70%, right? So the price rose 70%, even though that gold is already adopted, and even though that these gold mining gold mine thingies are being discovered here, everywhere, and so on. And why? On that money printer that in a risk-off environment pushed the money first into the risk-off considered assets, okay? which tells me obviously something about the potential that Bitcoin has across the next 4, 8, and 12 years when the halvings are kicking in and the output of gold per day, per month is so little that we have to reprice all the time to the upside because there's just not enough. Because all these companies that I talked about, if you think about Mercedes and BMW here from Germany, if you think about Ford and so on, GM from the US, if you think about the Magnificent Seven with Google, Facebook Meta, Nvidia, and whoever else, and all these other companies that might get a little bit exposure to Bitcoin just as they might have with gold and bonds and whatever, right? It's just crazy to piece that all together and put it into a number of trillions. But if we would just get the allocation that happened to gold in the last year, we would triple the Bitcoin price. So we are at 2 trillion. If we would add another 5 trillion, we would go to 7 trillion. So that's more than 200%, right? So more than a 3x would put Bitcoin at 300K and beyond, right? Yeah, and I think that could happen. Maybe not this cycle, but fairly quickly, 2 cycles at the least, I would say, and then you are there, and maybe it's going even faster. For Bitcoin, we still see that we have this goal to Bitcoin front run, right? And now we see also that if you overlay this here, and it's actually this is the way to overlay it, right? Then you see we are not there yet. Let me just get this down. Can I grab this also and put it? Yeah. Okay, so the important thing is that we really see the two consolidation parts, that they are aligned, and also this part and so on. Right now they are aligned. So we see still the potential to the upside here for Bitcoin and crypto in general. Regarding gold is taking a breather. It might be that this is where the next explosive move is coming out of Bitcoin, and that coincides with all the other factors that we're looking at. It coincides with a potential breakout here past all-time high. Yeah, it coincides with the bull cross here on the stochastic RSI. It coincides with the USDT dominance falling more, and we are really in the range where we just expect this USDT dominance to fall more, and therefore crypto going on a pump. Sorry, that's another one, the Bitcoin chart. Okay, so for the this is from the last stream still, where I explained where we were thinking that the altcoin season maybe stops. We see that Bitcoin dominance is still high, right? We have this long wick here, so still pushed upwards, although we have some correction, but nothing, not even like this. This was our last smaller altcoin run that we had a couple of months ago, actually in the end of last year to somewhere to Christmas last year. You remember your portfolios were up probably way more than they are now. But right now we only had a little blip here in Bitcoin dominance. We are still waiting for this, right? For this to happen, and I think it will happen. So too many believe it doesn't happen. It will happen. Let's go to the altcoin market first. Okay, we are a little bit mixed here on the day. We see a couple of movers: EOS, IP, Hype, BGB, KCS, Casper. Bitcoin a little bit in the green, but some coins bleeding, which explains why the Bitcoin dominance is not falling more. And yeah, overall though, most coins are still green on the weekly. meme coins still get a lot of liquidity pumped into. This will stop eventually, or not stop, but maybe get a little bit less eventually. We see also Pendle growing here. Yeah, a lot of projects are in the green still. Even on the day we see it, it's kind of mixed, right? This coin is so weird. This launch coin on Believe, it's so weird. It was called Ben Pasternak coin or something like that before. They rebranded to Launchcoin on Believe, and now you can go to the Twitter channel of these guys and post whatever name, and they just launch a coin with that name on that chain or on that whatever project. So this is super weird. This thing pumped 50x in a week or so. Yeah. Mewtwo says, "Gotta run. Have a great weekend, you too. See you soon." Yeah, but for the altcoins, I think it's really now only a waiting game, and maybe even we will have a lot of sideways and boredom after maybe another pump in the summer, as many people walk away from investing in general in summer. It's not a guaranteed, because we also had summer phases in Bitcoin where Bitcoin was just running, right? So for example, well, actually this is a good example for sideways. So in the beginning of our bull run here in 23, when people still discussed whether this is a bull run or just a dead cat bounce, we had also basically from May to September sideways action, not really going anywhere for 4 months. This can happen again, be prepared for that. Yeah. Also here, right, we had April to, yeah, here's a little bit up, right, a little bit, but the explosive move starts after September. Boom, right? So here's the September. September was red, and then in October it just went completely nuts. Yeah. Here's another example for pump in basically, yeah, here we have a June pump, and then consolidating all the way for the rest of the year. So you can't just say that so, and it also supports the theory that you are not dependent on time frames or intervals, but on when and where liquidity is pumped in the market. And that's what we're observing right now. Let's get to Ecomi here also. Let's talk a little bit about OMI. Yeah. So we had just a business update, which wasn't really a business update, if we are honest. For Ecomi and Veve, it was really less. I don't know how you can not say much in just such a long video, like 10 minutes. I mean, it was good to see that they try to bring positivity and so on, but there was just no content in that business update, right? So what founder led really means for the future of Veve was one part, but I mean, there was nothing that we didn't know already, because we had founder-led approach until basically the end of last year or something like that, or middle of last year. The core mission also clear, right? Collectors approach and so on. What's next for collecting, community, and innovation? So basically, there was no mention of Ecomi, and they also didn't explain why Ben left, and they didn't even mention his name. Okay, so when whatever you expected from that business update, you probably got disappointed. Yeah. Does it matter? Well, for me, to get more insight and to talk about it, it does, because there's nothing to show. Like, if there was like a super interesting snippet, I would probably be able to just pull it up here and play it. But that's not the case, right? So there's no reason to do that. If you want to watch it, watch it. But for me, there's no reason to play this business update for you guys, as there's nothing to you speculate on or say, see, this is what we thought, now here it is, right, as evidence. It's just not. And that's okay, right? They are not giving any more like deeper insight. That's fine, right? But it's also nothing where I can say breaking news, I make a video about it. We do have that Mandalorian comic coming up. Is that today? We will have to see. Actually, can we see it? See on the Star Wars page, the Veve Star Wars page. Let's see, is that today? Because then we might have it. I'm not promising, but I might have a chance to stream it if it's today. Read article. I might have a chance to stream it. 16th of, yeah, it's today. Today at 5, is that the case? Oh, actually, I could have just looked here at the, because this is a cool one. There it is. Yeah, it's today at 5, and then we would be able to get this, and then we can craft this, right? And the reason why I consider going for it is, first of all, people love Mandalorian, right? They love it, and there is not really a bad cover, because either you get a higher rarity, which is really cool, or you get a lower one, but the cover looks nice, right? And then it's also like it's a 10 gem, but you get 2 things, right? And if you had the secret rare, you get basically 2 secret rares, right? Something like, and also the ultra rare, and so they are scarce. By the way, what would that be? If that sells out, how many editions do they have? Yeah, so if that sells out, they would basically gross $75,000 on a comic plus frame. It's a 10 gem. I think that's okay. That price point is okay for what you're getting. Yeah, I could be going for that today. I will just stay tuned, like subscribe here and put notification on, so that you know if you want to check that or hang out a little bit more and talk more about Ecomi and Veve. I'll try to get more Ecomi Veve news and stuff piled up for that one. And quite honest, I enjoy drop streams, so this is why I'm doing that, and I hope you do too. But anyways, getting ready for that. That also means right now we have to end this stream. So guys, make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, notifications on, and let me know in the comments below also what you think about the topics that I have presented here. And yeah, wherever you are on the world, have yourself some great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. I hopefully see you very, very soon in about, what is that, 8.5 hours, again back here on the stream for a Mandalorian comic drop stream. That would be it, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.